Welcome to knife testing. We're going to tell you if the knife steel is real and what the Rockwell hardness is. We're doing it again, folks. So this is batch number 2. And I'm already making my list for batch number 3. So I'm going to sit down later today and kind of work on that a little bit. This is batch number 2. So batch number 2, I decided let's go 18 knives. 18 knives. And oh, by the way, if you don't want to listen to me talk, then just look down below and you'll see the list of knives and yes or no, it is the steel and what the Rockwell hardness is. And that way you don't have to listen to this video at all. But you might want to get some context to the hardness and the testing and that kind of thing. Remember, XRF, X-ray fluorescence testing, does not pick up light elements. Carbon is a light element. So if it's like 2% carbon, 20% chromium, 4% vanadium, like M390, it's not going to show the carbon, okay, on the XRF. So, but we can tell by the other elements, yes or no. And it's not me making the call. It's a real testing facility that is making the call on this, okay? So let's start, okay? We've got 18 knives. This is going to be interesting. You might want to pay attention. There's going to be some controversy, okay? Okay, let's start out. And number 1, I'm throwing myself under the steamroller, right here, where we go. The LTK Rezult. This is my knife, my brand, but it is OEM'd by We Knives, okay? And they don't, I can't remember the last time they ever did M390. They're doing 20 CV, which is M390. In fact, this testing facility, when they run the PMI test, they go M390/20 CV, because it could be either, right? Okay, so that's how they do that. So this is 20 CV, and where did they stab me? They stabbed me right there. So what do you think? Do you think this is real 20 CV, or could it be 5 CR? I'm sure it is. Just kidding. Okay, now let's look at the actual test results. Top of the paper, LTK result. Here's what it's claimed to be. Here's what they're saying it is. Yes, it is 20 CV. There's the Rockwell 60.1. That's all I gotta say. Would it have been nice if it was 62? Yeah, but you know what? What's 20 CV or what's M390 and 62? That's the question. What is it, class? Nothing. Nothing is 62 Rockwell that's in 20 CV or M390. It is a unicorn. It is mythological. It rarely ever happens. I've seen it one time. I've seen it once, okay? When our testing group was doing their stuff several years ago, it happened to be a Spyderco PM2 in M390. Yeah, in M390, that was a 62. And just everybody like, oh, we better test that again. It can't be. So most of the other knives are in the 59 to barely hitting 60, okay? That's just, but I'm so happy this is 60.1. So we're good. Okay, there's your vanadium, chromium, iron, etc., moly, whatever. Okay. Next, what is this damn thing? This is a TwoSun knife. Not my fault, even though this is my design. Me and Max, okay? And me and Max worked on this one too. Max and I, the Vandal. We got vandalized. Have you been vandalized? Because they're all gone, aren't they? Or there's some up on eBay recently? I don't know. This is an M390. But, well, is it really? And I can tell it is because I see this line. The grind lines on the 14C models, they're not this distinct. Right here, this grind line. So look at your knife. That's distinct right there. Otherwise, if it's really mushed over and you can't see this, it's probably 14C. but you probably know if it's 14C because you look inside the scale, say 14C. Okay, but this, I send it in. And let's get the results on the Vandal. And what do they say? What do they say, actually? Supposedly M390, and they said, yes, it's M390. 59.2. 59.2. Yeah, I think that's the lowest M390 Rockwell I've seen from TwoSun knives. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, TwoSun. I can't remember the model number, but it was a short M390 knife. It's on one of my previous batch videos. You can go back through them. But it was a 62. It was a 62. It's the only 62 I've actually held in my hand, okay, of M390. The rest of them, if you want to look down below, I've got the link to the spreadsheet that Blade Banner is keeping together for us. And you might look at some others have been at 59.8, but really there have been some that have been 60 plus that I remember. The very first M390s were not quite there, and they were probably more like this. But so that's what that is. Oh, shame and woe are put on us, and whatever biblical shit we can say. But you know what? Get ready. Get ready. Here it comes, baby. Here it comes. Okay, so get done trashing this one, because holy shit, your mind is going to melt out your ears on this one. Number 3. What is this? It is the MSI. It's the MSI from Microtech. There's the dot. Supposed to be M390MK. That special formula of M390 that Bowler has tightened the specs on for, and this is standard issue, right? Microtech standard issue. So let's take a look at the results, shan't we? Well, let's do. Is it M390? Yes, it is. What's the Rockwell? Wow. See, and I thought, hold on. I was looking at my Vandal going, okay, my Vandals, oh, and then I realized this is not a 59.7, because I thought 59.7, that's reasonable for M390 in the way it's going these days, right? Holy crap, this is not a 59.7, this is a 58.7. 58.7. All I can say is I think that Microtech's doing their heat treat in an intentional fashion. All I can say is they're going for toughness over edge retention. That's what they're doing. The lower the Rockwell like that, holy shit. Okay, the easier it will be to sharpen, the more toughness you'll have in it, this and that, but is M390 more of a Ferrari and edge retention machine if it's at a 62? Yeah, so I'm surprised. Now, I've had guys trashing on my channel saying, Microtech just doesn't get their heat treat right, blah, 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 on M390 and stuff. And I go, well, hold on. I don't know that because I've never had any of it tested, okay? But I think you can look at our spreadsheet as well below. And I kept thinking there was a couple of Microtechs on there as well as this one. And no, they are not 60 plus, whatever. Okay, so I'm just saying, I don't think they're doing this because they're just not able, they're not capable. I think they're doing it intentionally because it gives them some kind of effect that they want to have in their blade as opposed to having it harder. That's all I can think of. Okay. And what's this next one? And let's go to the next one, because it's complicated and sciencey. It is. It's complicated and sciencey. So this is, oh yeah, this is more popular than Benchmade, of course. Everybody's got one of these, right? An XTOUC. Okay, so I've been talking about them recently on my channel. There's the banger right there. Okay, so this is a button lock. What the hell is this supposed to be? It's supposed to be 14C28N. Come on, man. Is it really? Let's take a look, shan't we? They're saying it's 14C. Is it? I said yes. I said yes, even though the test service says AEB-L. Okay, well, if it really is truly AEB-L, because if we knew the carbon content, we'd know whether it's AEB-L or 14C, because 14C gave up some carbon content to go into, I think, nitrogen or something, okay? This looks like it's got some in it, and so I'm thinking their gun is programmed more for AEB-L because a lot of that's used in the USA, blah, blah, blah. So if you do your homework online, these steels are nearly identical. If anyone can tell the difference, based on performance, it has less to do with the difference in chemistry, more to do with the heat treat protocols. And then it talks about this. You can pause and read. 14C swaps out some carbon for nitrogen, adds some chromium to get a tiny bit more stainless. Okay, so I'm calling this, yeah, it's 14C. It's just their guns calling it AEB-L. And you're not getting cheated if it's really AEB-L, okay? It's identical to 14C in almost every way. So there's that. And what really solidified it for me is that I have the AVIVI Synthesis in this group, and they called it AEB-L as well. And AVIVI, you know that's 14C. So, I mean, this odd brand here, you may go, but when it goes and AVIVI tests the same, okay, we got 14C. Next, and I know we're kind of going slow, Kaiser Clairvoyant is next. Here it is. So check this out. Of course, it's my buddy Munko Knives, Paul Munko. And what do we got? We got S35VN. This is Kaiser. This is the high-end Clairvoyant, right? And let's see. S35VN. Is it really S35VN? Yes, and it's close to a 60. I think S35VN is in the green zone as long as it's 58 to 60, somewhere in there. So this is close to 60. You can look down below in the spreadsheet and look at any S35VN knife on that spreadsheet and go across to see if it's in the green zone. It'll say expected or, acceptable Rockwell number zone, and I think 58 to 60 plus is acceptable. This is 59.6, so this is good to go as far as I'm concerned. This is close. I mean, when it's within 0.4 of a 60, and not that 60 is the target for this, it's more the target for M390, not for S35. And remember that S35 is not as sensitive to really small differences in Rockwell as far as cutting performance goes. Okay, M390 is. You go from a 59 to a 60, you've really upped the edge retention on M390. You go from a 59 to a 60 on S35, it's not that big a difference, okay? It's not the kind of difference you're gonna get from M390. So, okay, just sorry, taking so much time, but I just wanted to kind of clarify. Okay, next, we've got vostied cutlery or vostied, the T-Bird, and they're saying this is S35VN. What is this new brand out that thinks they're all that stuff, okay? And they are that stuff, and a lot of people are giving them a lot of attention these days, and they're making some good stuff. You like that raccoon that they got? There's so many of their knives I really like. Okay. Is it real S35? Yes, it is. Okay. So you can see the vanadium, okay? The chromium, all that. Yes, it's S35. 61 Rockwell. Okay. The Kaiser was just about 60, but this is 61. Okay. Just saying. You never know. You never know where brilliance will come from, okay? So I'm just saying that I was impressed. Number 7, We're working through them. We're working through them. Okay, bodega. Yeah, I got all my beer and everything down at the bodega. No, this is the bodega, and of course this is the one made in China or whatever recently, you know, and of course they got this one, they got 2 other models, they got, you know, whatever being made. But I got the bodega because I always liked the bodega. I thought it was cool. And this at $120 minus whatever my 10% discount was on White Mountain, etc. Steel, you know, subframe lock, that kind of thing. But where did they punch it? They punched it right here. Okay, so let's see how this bodega goes. And the Todd Begg Bodega D2. Yes, it is D2 steel. There's the vanadium, chromium. So the chromium D2 is usually, but vanadium can be like all over the place on these things. But if it's usually, you know, 0.6 to 1.0 or 1.1, but somewhere around there, this is fine. It's a 12% chromium product. Okay, so it's a 62.1 Rockwell. That's a 62.1 Rockwell on this D2. Now, does that mean the tempering and everything was done perfect and the structure and blah, 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 blah? No, but it means it's hard, okay? That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you how it's necessarily going to perform because I don't know. I didn't watch it go through heat treat, and I'm not a metallurgist and all that kind of stuff. I'm giving you what I can give you. So there's that. Let's go to CJRB. I've always liked this one. I got this from White Mountain because it was the pyrite was a special to just an exclusive for White Mountain. I was trying to say exclusive. I couldn't come up with the word. The pyrite in blue Damascus. Okay, did we get it? And this is ARRPM9, which is, you know, something that this testing people, they don't know about ARRPM9. I think we got that sorted last time. But so if you look at this and you look at this, of course, ARRPM9 is 0.9% carbon, but we don't measure carbon. So you got to go to vanadium. There's 0.1, vanadium 0.1, okay? Cobalt, and where do we got that? I don't know if we're measuring cobalt with this gun here anyhow. We got Moly 1.0, Moly 1.14, manganese, where are you? Oh, 0.45, 0.59, okay. So this is, yes, and they said 440C or similar. It's ARRPM. It's, see the chromium? So it's a 9CR18 steel, okay? That's supposedly powder metallurgy, okay? So 9CR, so 0.9 carbon, which we can't read the carbon. But if it's 18 chromium, then this is 18. This is close to 18 chromium. Okay, 18 MOV. We got the MO, and we got the V is right up here, and the V is correct, and the MO is correct. Okay, so I'm going to say yes. This is correct. This is ARRPM9. It's basically a 60 Rockwell. Not too shabby. Next, we got the AVIVI Synthesis that we ripped part of it up. Damn it. Okay, AVIVI Synthesis. So when they tested these, they just put a tag on it, and then they gave me the list with numbers. Bum, 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 bum. And so I knew which number referred to which knife. Okay, they tagged them and bagged them. Okay, this is the Synthesis. All right, and we love this AVIVI Synthesis. I wished it was a liner lock and it had this on both sides. Kind of spoiled it for me when they did half and half with the steel frame. For me, I mean, it's 14C, supposed to be 14C. Is it 14C? I'm saying yes, and they called it AEB-L. Okay, so if you want to argue this or whatever, that's fine. It's a 60 Rockwell. okay? So I think that's really good for 14C. A lot of 14C that I have seen, and you may have too, is more like 58, right? I mean, I don't know. You can go down that spreadsheet too. It's good to do some of your own legwork there. But I think 60 is excellent. And so there it is. I mean, they've called every 14C AEB-L. So I know that we got 14C because they're indistinguishable. We've already been through that. Okay, next, Sheepdog Kaiser. Here it is. 154 cm with that blue Canyon rich light scales. And guess what? No flipper tab. Oh my God, this is wonderful. It's so drop shutty. I love these Kaiser knives. And they've been in the green zone on Rockwell's, just like a little trooper. You know, maybe not at the top of the scale, but they're in the green zone. And what is this? Is this 154 cm? Yes, that's what they called it there. And it's close to a 60. That's not bad. Okay, I don't think that's bad at all. It's definitely in the acceptable zone as far as our testing team was calling them when we were doing these, okay, a couple years ago. So I'm good. Could it be an 85? Like a Rockstead or something? I don't know, whatever the hell. So no, I'm happy with that. I'm good. If it's in the green zone, and it is what they say it is, I'm good with that. I mean, you're talking batches of production. You're not talking about boutique type of heat treating from some high-end place, okay? So for the common man, I'm happy, okay? Now, look at this, number 11, and I'm as calm as they get. Okay, so what is this? You're going Divinity Tree from Fat Dragon Knives. Of course, everybody knows Fat Dragon Knives. I mean, they're a household name, right? So everybody, that's why I'm a freak, and that's why I don't have that many subs, right? Because people go, you're a complete weirdo. Okay, M390. Is it M390? Yes. Oh, and did I send a thing to, I think I did, to Weeby Knives San Francisco, because I got this from him, right? And you can get them off AliExpress and everything, but look at that. It's like they're racing to the bottom with Microtech. It's like, hold on, can we be lower than Microtech? Yes, we can. We can be at 58.2. We barely crawled under the Microtech reading, so here we go. So yes, it is real M390. What does that mean? It means that you can sharpen it easy, and it's got a lot of toughness. Let's look on the bright side. Happy days, 58.2. Just think, you won't have to suffer hard to sharpen that knife. You won't have to suffer hard to dull the blade either. See? It made life so much more simple for you. There's always a positive side to it. Holy crap. Okay, so let's go on to another no-name brand, okay? But I wouldn't flavor all the Fat Dragon / Nemo knives on that heat treat there. I would hold back from that. Okay, so let's look at these crazies. I mean, if it's not this stupid people, XTOUC, it's these stupid people, Ramette. And then I'm calling them stupid because I'm being facetious, right? Because actually, I got this in blue and I got this in pink, okay? It was on Amazon. They cost nothing, basically, okay? And did you see my review on it? It's, I mean, nice hardware and stuff and ceramic bearings and blah, 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 deep carry pocket clip, not reversible, but kind of that FRN material you get on lightweight Spyderco or whatever, you know, some of these knives. So that's cool. And this is supposed to be 9CR18. Ah, those filthy liars. And there's the hardness dink on the blade. So we will find out about you, mister. You're so inexpensive. We know you're just lying. So let's just find out for sure. Oh my God, it is 9CR18. That's incredibly incredible. Now, the chromium is not very high for an 18% chromium, isn't it? Boy, that varies all over. Look at the vanadium. Okay. And there's your moly. But it's at a 61.7. Holy crap. Of course, this is different than it's supposed to be pretty much elementally the same as AR-RPM9. But boy, those numbers seem a bit off, don't they? But they're calling it 9CR, not me. They're calling it that. I'm calling the AR-RPM 9CR. But this, right here, wow. So here we go, 61.7. I laugh at the superior intelligence. I do now. Here we go. Cheap old knife, baby. She's hard as a rock. That's gonna be some wearability. I don't know if it's gonna be the edge retention champion. So maybe this might be a good one to like cut test with. You know, I'm trying to find some stuff for Outpost 76 for Gerald to cut test. And I'm going to have him cut test some that were in this batch. And you know what? So I wanted to get this video done so I could get a couple of knives off to him to cut test with. There's some ones, I mean, we could, you know, destroy his life as we speak, though, because we could send so many to him to cut test with. He won't have anything else he's capable of doing other than cut testing. But there's some I would really like to have him do. So I'm putting together a list. You guys can give me recommendations too. Okay, let's go to number 13. 13. And let's get Sativian. And I got this one off of Amazon. And, you know, a couple of guys had said, oh, you know, the ST996, really good looking knife, supposed to be M390, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe you ought to check it out. And yeah, and I was hoping I'd get a free one from them, and screw that. So I just bought it. The hell with it. Okay. So, hey, if I get a free one, it's way less expensive. It's expensive enough to pay for this testing. Okay. Yes, it's real M390. No, it's not a 62. Another jab at the bottom. 58.2. Just think how easy it will be for you to sharpen this. I've already given you the upside, haven't I? You're probably tired of that. You're going, oh my God. So 4% vanadium, yes. Yeah, this is definitely M390 all the way. 20% chromium, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, but 58.2. Shame on you. I can't remember if I've contacted Sativian. I definitely have not contacted Microtech because you know what? I'm sure they're testing their own. You know they got a big shop. You know they got a Rockwell machine. They got to know. So this is not something that they're not aware of. They intentionally want it to be easier to sharpen for a reason. Okay, so this and that. But these two, this Nemo Knives, Fat Dragon, and then this Sativian, I'm gonna let them know. I think I already told Weeby Knives San Francisco if he has contact with Fat Dragon, let him know. And then I'm gonna contact Sativian direct with that. Okay, because you know they're probably OEMing them somewhere, and they can jump on the manufacturer and say we gotta take care of this. Okay, ProTech Rockeye. Holy crap, we're coming after ProTech. And I really got to spend some time talking to Dave when we were eating a barbecue when we were at the Texas Blade Show. And it was like the night before the Blade Show or the first night after the first day of the Blade Show or something. No, it was the night before the Blade Show started. So there's the Rockwell punch on the Rockeye. So this is not the short-bladed Rockeye. This is a full-bladed Rockeye that I got directly from ProTech, by the way. And I've had it in my drawer for several months. And it's basically a 60. Okay? It is S35VN. And it's basically a 60. Bingo. I mean, are we happy? We should be. That's pretty solid. I'll take 60 on an S35 all day long, okay? I'm really happy with that. So that's really good. Okay. Oh, number 15. Okay, hold on. Right here. I saw this. I mean, I intentionally put myself at risk on Amazon because I go, I'm going to go M390 knife, and then I sort from low price to high. So I was going at the lowest price of what somebody would claim was M390. So this knife is a knife that they're so proud of. They just didn't want to billboard it up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want their name on it. Now I figure out why. But you know what? Of course. How could they lie? This has got to be M390, right? For a whole $40 or whatever it was, right? And no, it's not. Not even close. There's the vanadium. Hello? I mean, is that 4% vanadium? No, don't think so. Chromium 20? Nope. Okay, so, but it's a 61.3 Rockwell. Wouldn't that have been great if this was M390? I would laugh my ass off. For $40-something, you get this banger. And, but sadly, now, it says AEB-L, so what do you think it is? I think it's 14C. That's what I think it is. It's 14, okay? And the vanadium looks right. The moly looks right. It looks right for 14C. So if you want a solid 14C knife with a what the hell kind of hardness level, then 40-something bucks, get this big-ass dog, like 9-inch long hoss of a knife. I think I've seen one like this with Ifengrau name on it, but Ifengrau wasn't claiming it was was M390. Okay, they were just selling it like a D2 thing or whatever. But this thing ain't no D2. This is 14C, and or if it's AEB-L, well, God bless America, fine with me. I mean, I don't care. But you know, don't call it M390, you lying people, liars. Okay, now let's go down the liar patrol. Oh, let's go down the walk of shame. Okay, so I got this knife from, I'm not going to, actually I shouldn't say his name, should I? And he wanted me to put it on the knife sale as an homage knife to the Koenig Arius, right? And I go, no. I don't sell any copies, knockoffs, clones, nothing on my knife sales. I just won't do it. I'm sorry. So, but I kept it in the drawer because I wanted to actually test this to see what is it. You know, what is the, because who is it that sells these? I can't remember. And I don't know if I want to, SMKE. Okay, SMKE is the group that sells these. And they claim that it's M390, right? And they claim whatever. So, titanium, M390, and of course, it's way less money, of course, than a Koenig Arius. But I thought, just for informational purposes, I would put this on here because I was going to prove them wrong, right? And I was going to call them out. So here's the stats on this. Unfortunately for you people who really find this pretty detestable, it's the wrong sheet of paper. Hold on. Okay, SMKE. Arius. Clone. Is it M390? Yes, indeed. And look at that. Chromium, vanadium. It's strong. It's strong. And guess what? It's a 60.2 Rockwell. Okay, this is 60.1. What is this? The highest M390 we have in the group other than this one here? Because that's not, these are 20 CV. Well, M390 equivalent, whatever. So, okay, whatever. They're saying it is what it is. Read them and weep, okay? This next one I got on Amazon as well. It was super cheapy deepy. And when I got it, I thought, holy crap, this thing's tinier than I thought. Holy moly. This is the, everybody's familiar with this. Olatans, of course. Who wouldn't know that? And what does this look like? What does this design look like? Does this look like a mini, well, not a Chris Reeve knife, but what does it look? It looks strangely familiar if you blew this up. But what are these little glow in the dark? These are definitely not the tritium. Tritium's like 12 bucks, 15 bucks a stick, right? There ain't no way that's tritium. But it is some kind of little glow in the dark thing in here, okay? And they're saying this is M390. Of course it is. What? Of course it is. I'm sure it is. It was like the packaging was awesome on this thing. I don't know if I should do a review on it or not, but it was awesome packaging. And you finally got down to the little dinky thing in there. I thought that was part of the sticker. Where's the real knife? Okay, is it M390? No! Look at the vanadium. It should be like 4%. Okay, never mind. It's 440C or something. But really, you might be able to argue that this is maybe a 9CR 18. Because I don't know the carbon. If I knew the carbon, I could call it closer, right? Because this is what they called the AR RPM9. They called it 440C or similar. So maybe you can look down on the previous stuff and see, what do you think that is? And let me see if I can pull the AEB-L. Okay, so compare it to what AEB-L is supposed to be. Vanadium was 0.1. Well, this is close to 0.1. Moly is 1.0. Moly is 0.65. Manganese. Do we have a manganese? No. We got, okay, chromium, vanadium, and moly is all we got in here. I don't know. So, no, I don't know. So that's what it is. It's some kind of steel that may be somewhat like a 9CR, or it could be like a 440. So that's what that is. They tell you it's M390. It's a lie. Okay. Last but not least is the pulsar, and I've driven you crazy now because, yes, this video is way too long, but just thought you might enjoy the narrative, and maybe not. Okay, so I love pulsar. I love Kunwu knives. Kunwu, I love them. I do love them. And this pulsar is really cool. It could have been a little bit bigger for my taste, but you know what? It's big enough. It's a full-size knife. And I just love this lock mechanism that they do here. So, okay. It's LMAX, supposedly, right? And so, let's see. LMAX, yes. There's your vanadium, of course. There's your chromium. Okay. Moly, etc. With a little nickel in there, right? 60.3. 60.3. That's definitely green zone. That's not bad. That's not bad. How many 60 plus have we seen in here in a super steel? Right? Have we seen in a super steel? This wasn't. This wasn't. This was in a super steel. S35, we got, no, that wasn't quite 60, but, oh, this one was plus, and this one was right there. So that kind of thing. It's tough, but this is pretty damn good. Okay, 60.3. That's it, folks. There's the whole deal. I'll put all the information down below so you can go back and reference it. You can pause and read, do what you want. I encourage you to put your comments down below, because if you think I miscalled the AEB-L, if you think I miscalled the AR RPM9, go ahead. I mean, you could even run this by Laren Thomas if you'd like to. I've had some back and forth with him here and there. Not on these particular knives, but other things. So, you know, that's fine. I mean, I'm happy to see all comments, whatever. I'm just an enthusiast. I'm not a metallurgist. I'm only giving you the results that I'm getting from the professional testing service and their Rockwells, okay? Can't tell you the microstructure, can't tell you the cutting performance that would result in whatever these are, okay? Take care, my friends. Now that I've given you my attorneys wrote all this, like, whatever. So don't blame me. We do. We love them knives. So you guys, stay sharp.